Hi friends, hi, Trisha here. Welcome back to my kitchen. I was looking through this old book. It's actually a bit dishevelled looking. I mean the back cover and all's fallen off and I can see some of my mum's actual writing on it here. And this book I remember growing up with, and it was Rayburn Royal. I'll bring it forward so you can see. So in our farmhouse we had one of these big ranges and my mum did a lot of cooking from this book, and I just happened to be looking through it. Borrowed it off mum. She doesn't do any cooking now, she's actually Alzheimer's, so God love her. So I found this one for raspberry buns and I don't remember mum ever making this, so just interested in seeing how it turns out. It's a bit of a strange recipe to me, but we're going to give it a try and see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to follow this book. I don't want to do the recipe wrong. It says sieve the flour, salt and baking powder into a bowl, and it's asking for, what do I say, my niece is going to make. It's only going to make 10, so I'm going to double this recipe. But I will put the recipe for the single batch down in the description box. See how these turn out. And 8, 16, so that's a pound of flour I need. And I'm just using all-purpose flour. Put it onto ounces. Well, neither be a hit or miss, but 16. Usually anything that's made in this house is eaten, so no worries about that. So that's 16 ounces of plain flour. And baking powder, I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just going to put this into the top of this and wait, mix it through if I can get it open. So that's 1 and 2. And a pinch of salt. That's a good pinch of salt. And you get more salt by the looks of things. And I'm going to give that a bit of a mix through before I serve it. And this recipe seems very easy, but we shall see. I just want to serve that through into the bowl. And if it doesn't want to go through, I find it easier just to give it a wee push down. That's actually salt you can hear there. And dunk that salt in. Okay, so sieve the flour, salt and baking powder. And remember, I'm doubling this. And rub the butter into the flour, then add the sugar. So it says 3 ounces of sugar, so I'm going to need 6 ounces. I'm just going to get that weighed before I use this for butter. Turn it back. 6 ounces. Well, it's exactly 6 ounces. I'm just using ordinary granulated sugar. And I'll transfer that just when my hands are clean. And I'm going to weigh out margarine. It says margarine or butter, but I always use utterly butterly. It's just a better quality of margarine. It's more buttery taste. And it's 6 ounces of this I need. And that's just over 6 ounces. One, but I'll be fine. And I'm just gonna give my hands a quick wash. So, rub the butter into the flour. And instead of using a pastry knife, I'm just gonna rub it in the old way. Just cut that down a wee bit. Sorry, it's loud. I'll just get my hands in and just rub the bits of butter through the flour. It's almost like a pastry instead of a bun. Because this is the way of making shortbread or short pastry, short crust. But they say they make into raspberry buns, so. And it doesn't say how fine to rub it, but I'm going to rub it down like, excuse me, like breadcrumbs. And it doesn't take too long to do this. So you're basically just rubbing between your thumb and your fingers. And all that butter will soon incorporate with your flour. And I think I should have my oven on the heat. So the temperature is 425 degrees Fahrenheit. 20 minutes. And that seems quite a high heat. So I think that's rubbed in enough there. Just rub your hands together and you'll get the rest of that all off. And I'll show you what it looks like. So it's basically like fine breadcrumbs. Okay. I'm just gonna give my hands a wash to get the oven turned on. A dish of hot water on the go when I'm baking. Excuse my coughs today, guys. I seem to have it. Oops. It's our pizza dishes from last night. I'll just get rid of those. And it says to cook these up at the top shelf, but I'm not putting them that high up because I know my oven and it's likely to burn. And 475 is too hot. No, 425. So 425 is 220. No way. I'm going to put this on at 200. Because I know my oven and it tends to run hot. So that's that on preheating. So sieve the flour, salt and baking powder, rub the butter into the flour and mix in the sugar. And that's your sugar gone in. mix to a stiff dough with the egg and milk. And it says 1 egg for single recipe, so I'm doubling, so I'm going to add 2. And I'm just going to break them up a bit and add a little bit of milk to this to get it started. It doesn't say much milk, it just says milk to mix. And I'll leave these here. These go back to the hens. And just break those up. Give it a wee whisk. And because it doesn't say much milk, I'm just going to put probably about not even a quarter of a cup of milk in there. And I think I'm going to use the back of a wooden spoon. I find it easier with pastries or anything like that. Just make sure of everything in. Mix to a stiff dough with the egg and milk. Divide into 10 portions and roll into balls. Okay. I should really have a damp cloth under my bowl to stop it from moving, but so we want this into a stiff dough, it says. And it's going to take all that. That's all of our egg. And I'll just give this a good mix to see if I need any more. This recipe is a bit weird to me, to tell you the truth. But we shall see. And I think I'm going to need a little bit more milk in there. Just a slight touch. Maybe not. No, that's all come together okay. So basically you've seen how much milk I put in there. So it didn't take a lot. And that is a stiff dough. I'll just get my spoon out. Now I need to weigh this dough out and divide it. I sort of want them equal because I'm not sure exactly how they're going to end up. And I'll weigh it into here. And that is a stiff dough. Come on. Okay. So it's 1,006 kg, 1 point, and divide that by 20. Okay, so I'll transfer that back into the big bowl, and I want these sort of all the same size if I can get them. Or as close to. And I've got a baking tray. I'll get rid of my milk. I'm just going to put a bit of parchment down in that instead of greasing it. And it's quite simple. I don't cut it in, just pull it. And I think I'm going to need 2 trays. It doesn't say how much they spread, I don't think so. I think I need a little bit of flour to work with this, so I'm just going to grab a wee bit of flour and so what's that size of ball it's going to make? It's a little bit more than 50, but it'll do. And just flour my hands up and put it into a ball, just like that, and straight onto the tray. I think an easier way to do that would be to use my cookie scoop. Oh, let me see how much. Yeah, that's 50. So a full one of those cookie scoops is 50. And just continue rolling them into balls. That's quite sticky, so I'm going to need a bit of flour. Just flour the hands and roll. And I'm just using raspberry jam. Oh my goodness, that's hard to open. And half teaspoon maybe. Okay, so I just got flour and a wooden spoon and just make a hole in the centre. And that's quite easy. These remind me of thumbprint cookies, but the jam's going to be encased. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of jam in the centre of each one. Go you down in there. And I think these holes aren't big enough, need them bigger. I'll try and keep it so that I can get them sealed and work with them. Okay, so it says to get that jam off me. It says to pull them together to seal the dough, and I'm going to need a bit more flour on my hands to do that, and make it back into a ball. So just push it down and pull that dough over, and then make it back into a ball. Oh, I forgot the flour. And I think I might be putting a wee bit too much jam in, but so push it down and push it back into a ball. And you do need flour on your hands here. These are so messy, guys, but I don't let anything beat me, so I'm going to try my best to make them work. And they do go back into a ball pretty easy, like. You just grab that over, and it helps if you've got a bit of flour in your hands, and just shape it again. It doesn't have to be 100%, but if you try, like everything in life, if you try your best, then you should feel good about yourself. Okay, now that was a bit messy, I have to admit. I get my flour all under a bit of water. I'll clean up and get my paws washed. Okay, now that I've got them shaped again, I'm just going to lightly brush the top with a little bit of milk. So, okay, and I'll not milk those ones. And this is just ordinary granulated sugar. I'll put a wee sprinkle of sugar over the top. There we go. And this tray is going straight in the oven. Okay, and I'm going to put them on the top shelf and put them straight in on that. Actually, it's the second one down because it would be too high up. And I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. Actually, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And I'm going to rotate the tray halfway through, just so I know that oven. And I'll see you whenever I bring them out. It'll be something new for both of us. Hopefully they'll work. Alright, see you soon. Okay, I put the second tray into the fridge just to keep them from getting too soft on me. And there's about 8 minutes left on that first batch. I turned the tray around halfway through there. So we're just going to get this one ready with the egg, or the milk wash and a sprinkling of Can't wait for the timer to go off, guys, so you can see them. And as I say, the house smells gorgeous. Okay, that's those ready to go in. I've got all my dishes done. It's always good to get them out of the way. I think the timer's about to go off here. And as I say, I reduced my heat to 180 here. I'm not exactly sure how brown these are supposed to look because it's a new recipe to me, but this is the reduced temperature one. And I think I might give them another 2 minutes just because I reduced the temperature so much. And I reckon they're done. And they're a lot lighter than the last ones, but there you go. That's hot. See the difference. I reckon I had the oven maybe up too high for this batch, but you can see a difference in colour. And these are what I would remember as like old-fashioned buns. I think my granny even made these. Just from what I see of them here, bring back memories. You've got to remember, I'm what, near 60, and in those days there was no chocolate chips and a lot of fancy sweet stuff. There was more basic recipes. I'm not going to try that little one because it'll burn the mouth off me. So I'm going to try one of these ones. And they smell delicious. Like that. You see the sugar and where the jams come up. So obviously I haven't sealed this one enough, but I think it looks cool. It tastes lovely. That crunch of the sugar on the top's lovely. and a jam. Well happy with those to bring back memories. They're so nice. Yep. I'm going to have to get the boss to try them.
There's no jam on that one.
Bite into it.
Huh?
Bite into it.
Right,
Maybe a Paris buns.
we have. Oh, yeah. Nicer. Oh, I'm gonna what?
They're good, aren't they? That's an old recipe.
Lovely.
I've ate all mine. Okay. Talking my mouth full. They're good. It just goes to show simple ingredients can taste really good. Alright. So, there we go. They taste so good for basic ingredients. And passed his test. Well, he's very fussy, so they must be good. Alright guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me, don't forget to hit that like button, the thumbs up button. Helps my wee channel out greatly. And I hope you like this recipe. I'm going to put the recipe for the single batch down in the description box. We'll make you 10 of these. And they're tasty. I like the older recipes. No faff. And they're sweet. And I reckon you could put whatever jam you wanted into them. Alright. Don't forget if you watch the video to hit the like button please guys. And share or leave me a comment. Alright, I'll see you all in my next one. You all have a great day and I'll see you all later. Bye. Good. And come for another one. Bye.